Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to do a presentation on discourse analysis. My name is Simone. The topic is going to be Lana Del Rey face mask backlash. Sounds interesting. What is it all about? First, an introduction. Singer Lana Del Rey released a poetry book called Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass in September of this year. In light of this release, she wanted to do a book signing at a bookstore in Los Angeles. She announced the event in a live stream on Instagram. Sounds very exciting. However, when the event took place, she faced enormous backlash. Not because of the event itself, but because she was there without a proper face covering. The face mask she wore was silver and made of fishnet material, which leads to the fact that her face, her mouth and nose were visible, as you can see here. This led to enormous outrage on social media because people thought she put the people present at the book signing at danger because of this foolish action. However, not only fans on social media were angry. Mainstream media also reported on it. As we can see here, the headlining from the Washington Post, and another one from BBC, and yet another one from The Guardian. In light of this happening, I decided to do this presentation on this whole criticism. As my data, I have selected one tweet posted on October 4 by She Queen, an anonymous account on Twitter. This is the tweet. I took the picture on October 11. As you can see, it is composed of a text and a visual. Because the data has both an image and text, it seems logical to analyze its meaning with the multimodality approach. Besides this approach, I have also made use of the following concepts: contextualization, intertextuality, indexicality, and moral behavioral script. Let's first focus on the text. The first part of the tweet is, as said, a text. It's a sentence. You took my sickness out of context at the Walter Reed Medical Complex. What is this, you might think? It is, in fact, an adaptation of one of Lana Del Rey's own lyrics, namely the opening line from her song Mariner's Apartment Complex. The official line is, you took my sadness out of context at the Mariner's Apartment Complex. This lyric is about an ex-boyfriend of Lana's who told her they were doing well and getting along well because they were both sad. But this was not the case. Lana wasn't sad at all. She was doing very well. And so he mistook her sadness and took it out of context, as you can see in this tweet. Now let's go further in depth on the text. She Queen took the lyric out of the context of Lana's song and posted it on Twitter. This as such is already contextualization. And contextualization is when you take content out of its original context and place it in another context. This means that the meaning gets changed. as we can see, as I said, I mean, he or she changed the lyrics. Sadness becomes sickness, and Mariner's apartment complex becomes Walter Reed Medical Complex. So it's not just a replication of the lyric, it's an adaptation. What does this imply? Sickness refers to coronavirus. Coronavirus, of course, has a negative historicity because it leads to enormous amount of people getting infected, and also a lot of people actually die from the disease. Intertextually, it has this a negative value. But it isn't just about coronavirus in general. It is more specific. For that, we have to look at the second part of the sentence, namely Walter Reed Medical Complex. Walter Reed Medical Complex points to the corona infection of President Trump. President Trump got infected with COVID, and he was taken to military hospital Walter Reed in Washington to receive treatment. At the same time, Lana Del Rey attended her book signing with the mesh face mask. So we could think that the person who says you took my sickness out of context at the Walter Reed Medical Complex is in fact Donald Trump talking to Lana Del Rey, because he, at the time, was in the hospital Walter Reed, while Lana Del Rey behaved foolishly and went out in public with improper face covering. The text of the tweet indexes Lana being foolish, namely, she was in public with multiple fans present inside the bookstore without a face mask that actually protected her and the people around her. Because the face mask wasn't completely covering her face, she took corona out of context and downplayed its risks. Because if she thought it was serious, she would have worn a proper face mask, but she didn't. Fans are put in harm's way because of that. Besides that, she also didn't even kept her distance from fans. It is very critical because, as I said, the book signing took place inside a bookstore in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles County expressed the need for people to wear face masks when in public already in April of the year. And in October, Lana Del Rey did this. Technically, she did wear a face mask, but because it isn't covering her face properly, she also actually didn't do that. Now let's focus on the image. Here is the image. The image, in fact, is a combination of two pictures of Lana wearing the fishnet face mask. The first one is a picture made by the paparazzi outside of the bookstore. The other one is a picture of Lana Del Rey inside the bookstore, reading from her poetry book. In this picture, she has removed the face mask from her face. This is actually a cutout from a live stream Lana Del Rey's sister, Chuck Grant, posted on Instagram of Lana during the book signing inside the store of Barnes and Noble. In fact, it wasn't created by the person of the tweet I am talking about. Instead, the image seemed to be created by tabloid Daily Mail. Because when I looked up photographs of this event, I came across this exact same picture. And it showed me a link to a Daily Mail article about the Lana Del Rey face mask situation. The sign is made by Daily Mail, and because Daily Mail is the maker, the sign is based on their interest, as Kress said. It is of interest to Daily Mail that people will click on the link, that people will get to their page, so they will have traffic. And that's why they took this picture, they posted this picture of Lana Del Rey, actually these two pictures of Lana Del Rey with the face mask, because it can be viewed as quite provocative content. Provocative content seems to be a tabloid strategy to attract traffic to their site. Clicks. A day later, She Queen, the composer of the tweet, took this image and posted it together with the text on Twitter. When you combine the text and the image, you see he took sickness out of context at the Walter Reed Medical Complex, together with these two pictures of Lana Del Rey with the face mask. It indexes Lana not taking corona seriously enough. The text criticizes Lana for downplaying the risks. And the photo shows Lana literally with the inappropriate face mask. So we can say that the visual makes the message even stronger. The mask doesn't protect, and she doesn't even wear it properly. What a fool, right? This indexes that Lana doesn't take the corona situation seriously, or she finds aesthetics more important than safety. Let's now look at the bigger picture of this tweet. It generated over 13,000 likes and over 1,800 retweets between October 4 and October 11. That's quite a lot. Is this a niche audience? Of course it is a niche audience. It is only a specific set of people who interacted with this tweet, namely mostly the followers of She Queen, and secondly, people who were also outraged over Lana's actions and discovered this tweet and decided to reply to it or retweet it or like it. But it is also more than that, because this whole thing is an example of something bigger. It is an example of a celebrity who is viewed as a role model by society. Role models are often actors and singers. Lana Del Rey is a singer. But when these role models are expected to behave properly, to always do good, to act exemplary, this is a so-called moral behavioral script that the public deems them to uphold. But when they don't do that, so when they exhibit inappropriate behavior, the public will be outraged. They will be angry. They will see it as a failure of this person. This is the conflict. And this conflict leads to criticizing messages. And in times of social media, this has only become even bigger. It's very easy to name and shame it. specific person online. This happens very often, especially, as I said, with celebrity people. To conclude, as we have seen, Lana Del Rey angered people by wearing a fishnet face mask to a fan-attended book signing. It led to outrage on social media, but also mainstream media. The data I have analyzed is one tweet by She Queen that she posted on Twitter. In the tweet, we see a combination of a text and an image. The text is an adaptation of Lana's song lyric from Marinette Apartment Complex. This adaptation indexes the coronavirus and also President Trump's infection with coronavirus. This is an example of intextualization and intertextuality. Besides the text, we also saw a Daily Mail image that was contextualized by She Queen by putting it in Twitter, in a tweet. The visual and the text together expressed criticism of Lana for foolish action of putting people in harm's way by attending her book signing with a fishnet face mask. By doing this, she put all the people present at risk and exposed them to potentially get COVID. This is very serious. And we also saw, lastly, the bigger picture of this happening, namely that this is an example of the naming and shaming of a celebrity who goes against the moralized behavioral script of acting exemplary all the time. This is a script imposed to them by society. It's not their choice. It's society who deems them to uphold this script. And when they don't, they will publicly name and shame them. This is what happened to Lana. Thank you for your time.